Welcome back, everyone. Tom here from Park Avenue Trading, your chief dealer, keeping you sane in insane markets. Retail sales come out and they are crappy. So everybody's thinking Fed rate cut, but yet dollar yen really hasn't reacted after the news. We made a low of, where is that guy? 145, like 47. And it still hasn't reacted. So that puts us on our toes. We're going to be covering sterling yen, but I go into the dollar yen and sterling dollar before I get into the cross itself. So, people that come over thinking just sterling yen, they get a little bit of dollar yen, sterling dollar, sterling yen, and euro yen. So as it stands right now, I'm looking at this marketplace and I'm a bit befuddled, What I think is going on right now is if dollar yen breaks this low, this new recent low that we have here at 49, it could trigger a downward movement to 144.98. There's also a major, well, I'll say, okay, a longer term support at 144.74 right there. There's another support point right there. If we could get up through this, I'm going to say, really, I should move this up a little bit to like 10, but I'll just leave it there. Actually, I will. I'll move this up to 146. I'll go up to 146.18. If we can get above 146.18 and close above it on an hour, it's gonna trap all these dudes that got short down in here. Okay, so the weight of those shorts are probably going to push dollar yen up to, I would think, like 146. Say, I wouldn't go as high as 80's first run. I would go, let's see, all right, I would go to 70, 146.70 on a run upward before it hits some resistance. I'll go like right there, 146. Say, I'm going to go to this. High bars close right there. I'll even say 148.64. I think there'll be a little bit of a skid if we do get up through that point. However, here's the 2 points. 146.18 to break up above to show strength, and potentially 146.70. If that goes, man, it's opening up 147.22. Just means the market's caught short, or they're just changing their mind about potential rate increases in off of the Bank of Japan. So I don't know. I'm not a fundamental guy. I'm a technical guy. But the lower point is this low right here. 145. Say 50, all right? 145.50, a break of that's going to drive us down to 144.97. Let's get over to good old sterling dollar. Okay, this guy has been just a sleeper. We ran into resistance again at 133.21. The important point is this low right here. Actually, I would go this low bar's close 132.57. If that breaks, it's going to break this rectangle that formed right here, slightly above the rectangle, but we're coming back into it right now. If this level breaks, it's going to force sterling yen down to like the 132, the figure level, which is the main support that we have for this thing. If it breaks that, it's going to go back to that low that we saw at like 131.40, but that's not. I don't think that's happening on a straight run. Usually Fridays are trend days, not Thursdays. So I don't, like I said, I don't really have a great idea with this one either. I'm sorry to say. Let's get over to good old sterling yen. Sterling yen, that beast. Okay. Sterling yen. Let's see what we got going on here. All right. So this one went a little bit deeper than I thought. I did take a short on this. I didn't hold it for nearly as long as I should have. But hey, that's how it goes, right? So low of 193.52. 192. All right, so the resistance is still at 194.14. That's still a good resistance. And 194.14 42. It's all going to depend on dollar yen. I don't really have a good idea with this. I would think that, you know, it's probably I don't really think that Britain's got anything against Japan. So if dollar yen starts to rally, you know, I think then the pound is going to cool. So I think this thing's going to be in a range between 194.25, 193.56. If it breaks the lower end, it's opening up its path to what? 193. Wow. 192.65. 192.65. Okay, hang on a second here. That's the next level I got. 192. That's fine. 192.67. So here's the point. Close above, you know, 194, say 14, potential to rally to 194.67. Break below this level is actually showing extra, you know, more bearishness down to 192.67. Let's go over to good old euro yen. Euro yen broke down. Remember the channel that we are in? Well, we broke down out of that channel. Now we're heading lower. It really held up for quite a while. It really did. So let me see what points I got for euro yen. What's the low we made? We made, wow, I had that low pegged, man, 163.19. We went to 163.20. I had a support point here from way back when. If you saw my other videos. Wow. The only way this thing shows any type of strength right now, if it gets above 163.87, is the only way it shows any type of strength. There's some solid resistance up there. It's also driving what's going on in euro dollar. I mean, you know, the euro is weak against the yen. It's weak. It's weak against. I don't know if it's weak against the sterling. I haven't really checked out euro sterling, but right there is the resistance. If we break this 20, or say we break 163.10, this thing's opening up its way to 162.68. 162.68. All right. So let me put a line on the chart so I can. All right, I'll use this one. I'll use 162.43. That would be a massive skid, but it could potentially do that. So if it breaks this, this is probably where it's heading. There's the resistance at 80. So if you took this short, you know, stop's got to be 163.95. Pretty long, you know, pretty big support, stop loss, but you need to look for, you know, the R value. It's got to make sense for you. All right. So if you like what you see, please hit the like button, subscribe. Don't forget to ring the bell so you don't miss any of my important commentary. Head on over to Park Avenue Trading, get yourself a free ebook. And remember, always, as a short-term trader, enjoy the party, but dance near the door. Cheers.